What makes rondos better than passing drills, individual ball mastery, or traditional training methods? There are so many benefits to rondos. To list just a few, we can talk firstly about player enjoyment and challenge. We can also talk about the number of touches players get. And finally, perhaps most importantly, we can talk about the number of decisions players are forced to make, which really does speed up development and improvement. But let's be clear, this doesn't mean there's no longer room for more traditional training exercises. There is obviously still some benefit to passing drills, pattern play, and more traditional training approaches when used appropriately and done with the right focus and intensity. Those exercises are just not as beneficial as rondos, especially if you are looking to develop intelligent, high soccer IQ players who can think independently and make good decisions on the field. Because soccer is primarily a sport of decision making, if you truly want to best serve the players you coach, then you need to be heavily focused on developing their decision making skills. And with that in mind, let's take a closer look at some of the benefits of rondos over traditional training approaches, while remembering that ultimately you have to decide for yourself what your practices look like. Enjoyment is at the top of the list when any player is asked why they play the game, especially at the youth level. Rondos are massively enjoyable and players love them. Why? Because they are intense and competitive. It's easy for players to switch off and just go through the motions with boring passing drills like this. But with rondos, players have to be laser focused. For younger ages and lower level players who might struggle with some of the complexity and technical skills required for more advanced rondos, these basic 3v1 and 4v1 versions are great. For older and more advanced players, more complex rondos such as the 4v4+4 transition or the 3v3+3 hexagon provide the necessary level of challenge and intensity that players are looking for. Now let's look at a traditional passing drill and see how many times players touch the ball. Then compare that to a fast-paced rondo where players are not only touching the ball more regularly, but they are constantly involved mentally and so don't have time to switch off. Whether it's a professional level team like this, or a grassroots level youth team like this, the difference in terms of the number of touches is obvious, and let's face it, your players can't significantly improve their game unless they are touching the ball. Finally, and most importantly, let's look at a couple of standard training drills and consider how many decisions players are making. Not many. In fact, they're just on autopilot. Now compare that to rondos. Players are constantly making decisions, both when they have the ball and when they don't have it. And this is what makes them such a fantastic tool for player development. Good decision making is the foundation of any good soccer player, and so we have to ask, how do we develop good decision making? The answer is simple: by putting players in situations where they have to make lots of quick decisions under pressure. By focusing on this over an extended period, player decision making is guaranteed to improve and, crucially, transfer from practice into games. Ultimately, that's what all coaches are looking for. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe.